Greeting teacher and everyone. In this video, we are going to do the presentation about research finding that our topic is about challenges and strategies for language learning languages, and the language that we are going to present is about Chinese. And in our group, we have Horm Somalyya, Chettra, Raksmey, Samnangboth, Pech, and Norin. And for today's presentation, in this video, we have a bit about our interview process, difficulties in learning Chinese versus learning English, opportunities of learning Chinese, strategy for Chinese language learning, and the last one is about conclusion. So to not further delay, the first part of our presentation today is a bit about our interview process. We conducted our interview with one of our interviewees who can speak both English and Chinese. She told us that she has been learning Chinese for almost 10 years, and the reason that she chose to study Chinese because of her mom. The first time that her mom told her to study Chinese, but after that she started to love it, and she started to study Chinese from that time until now. And she also understand and speak English. She's currently learning English as well. And the interview conducted through online platform, and as a result, we received great responses. So the second part is difficulties in learning Chinese. There are many difficulties when it comes to learning the language, especially if compared with learning Chinese and learning English. Chinese is more difficult than English in terms of pronunciation. Our interviewee expressed that Chinese language has different tone and intonation with the same written words. Therefore, learners have to know and use it correctly, as different stress could mean different word and express different meaning. Additionally, our interviewee also faced challenges when it comes to writing in Chinese. She mentioned that most of the time, learners have to know the correct order and direction of the character. So this is the end of my presentation. The next part will be presented by Pech.
We're still on the topic of difficulties in learning Chinese, especially when compared to learning English. So according to our interviewee, Chinese language learning takes time and is more effort constraining. She also mentioned that she has a hard time learning Chinese vocabulary as it is complex and difficult to remember. Now, as in her learning experience, she thought learning English is easier than learning Chinese because Chinese has a more complicated grammar structure, pronunciation, as well as writing. After talking about the difficulties of learning Chinese compared to English, we will now briefly talk about the difficulties in teaching Chinese compared to teaching English. So our interviewee mentioned that teaching English language can be easier than teaching Chinese because teaching Chinese requires teacher to elaborate the sounds, consonant, tone, how to combine it to make a Chinese pinyin, how to read the words, then its structure, and how to write it. She said it's really complicated. Now we will move on to the opportunities of learning Chinese. Our interviewee has mentioned a few opportunities that comes with learning Chinese, and the first one is that knowing Chinese allows her to be able to communicate with native speakers, exchange conversations, and learn more about their culture and traditions. The second opportunity is that it allows her to find a job quickly and quite easily. And finally, the third opportunity that comes with learning Chinese is that it can lead to a better salary and And she also believes that in the future, those who know Chinese will get opportunities to work and study because she sees many potentials in this language.
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Chettra and I'm the last presenter for our group presentation regarding Chinese language learning. So according to the interviewee, we have got 3 strategies for learning Chinese. The first strategy is that learners should not be afraid of being judged, because when they speak or practice the Chinese language with the other people, they're gonna feel nervous because of their Chinese is not that good or they cannot speak fluently. So to speak the Chinese language more confident, you have to the speakers themselves do not feel afraid of being judged, and by doing so it is believed that those people can enhance their speaking skill subconsciously and can speak more confident. And the second strategy is that the people or the Chinese language learner should practice the language through watching some Chinese movies, which can boost their speaking skills over time. And the interviewee also stated that I improved a lot by catching words or phrases that I think I can use in real life from a movie or drama, and later on I practice using them with my friends or with the teacher in class. Okay, let's go to our third technique. Okay, now let's see our third strategy in Chinese language learning. So based on the interviewee experience, he said that he practiced the language with his friends or teacher, especially native speakers, because when they speak every day as a routine, the interviewee can remember the Chinese phrases or words without even realizing it. So, however, even though learning Chinese seems a bit difficult, so the Chinese learners have to be dedicating just to practice every day, so that he or she can lead themselves to a better Chinese language learners or speakers. And now that's all for the 3 strategies. Let's move on to the last part of our presentation. Okay, so everyone, in conclusion, after we have interviewed the respondent, we have found 2 main things. First of all, learning Chinese is really challenging for the learners. However, it also provides some tough, like complex writing skills and tonal pronunciation, meaning the learner feels difficult in pronouncing words or phrases in Chinese, also their vowels. And the Chinese language is a bit different and more complex than other languages, for example, English language. And the last main point that we have found is that even though this Chinese language has some difficulties for learners to learn. It also provides some benefits for the Chinese learners. For example, when someone can use Chinese very well, he or she tends to have more opportunities in having jobs and also a better salary. And once he or she knows the Chinese language, they can learn the culture of the China countries and also some other tradition in that country as well. So that is all for our group presentation. I hope you have learned some things from us, especially learning Chinese. And I believe some of you will be able to have some times to learn Chinese as a routine or just to enjoy learning in your spare time. Thank you everyone.